of God, the thoughts of God given to us on paper, and we know it. This is how it's given to us, wonderful. But God did not mean it to be on paper. God meant it to be transferred into your heart. God meant it to be written into your heart and into mine. That's why the Bible was given to us, so that it would be alive there. Welcome to this morning's refreshing thought from the Word of God. And I just want to talk about this simple thought, that the Word of God was given to be written into our hearts. And that's beautiful. It was not given, God has not meant it to be written, etched on a great building in large letters, and then we can say, okay, well done, the Word of God is there, the thought of God, that verse is there, and now everybody can see it, and okay, we're done with it. That's what it was meant for, so that it would be proclaimed so public. No. It was given to become a living thing in your heart. That's why God has given His Word. This is what Romans 10:17 testifies of. It says that faith comes by hearing, and hearing of the Word of God. Okay, so we hear the Word of God here, and that's the hearing that we need for faith to come into our lives. As we hear the Word of God, faith is awakened. Faith comes to life. Faith is quickened in us. This is how it happens. The Word of God stirs faith in us. And actually there is a great verse in Hebrews 4:1 and 2. I'm just going to read a little portion of it. It says, let us beware, for indeed we have had good news preached to us, just as they also. But the word they heard did not profit them, because it was not united by faith in those who heard. They heard the Word of God, and it entered them, but they did not mix faith with it. They did not unite it with faith. And that's a great fault. Now, this is what God gives His Word to us for, so that we would add faith to it, which means that we would rely on it. We would put our weight on it. God has given us His Word so that we would trust it. And as we trust it, something beautiful happens in us. The Word becomes alive in us. The Word of God becomes a living thing in us. And that's what God has meant His Word for, to be affecting you, to be affecting the people around you. God has not given His Word to us to be stored in our knowledge bank, and then we say, okay, I have fitted it in with all the other knowledge, and now I know, and I have this huge lexicon of the Word of God. God has not given it to us so that we could wave it around and say, look how much I know of it, how much I know about it. No, it was not given for that. It was given to us to be written into our hearts, so that it would affect our lives, because we are putting our weight on it, we are trusting it daily, and that's the choice that we make. Actually, in Psalm 119, which is a beautiful psalm written to exalt the Word of God, we read in Psalm 119, 159, this verse, consider how I love your precepts. Revive me, O Lord, according to your loving kindness. The desire was that, Lord, I want to be living according to this Word. This is how I want to live my life, because naturally, also Psalm 119 verse 25, our soul cleaves to the dust. Naturally, we are controlled by the things that surround us, circumstances, issues, problems. But the psalmist said, I love your Word. Lord, notice, I love your Word. I put my trust in it, and quicken me according to it. I want to have a life where this is alive in me, because that is going to be a very different life. And this is true of you and me also. God has meant His Word for you to be written in your heart, because that's where it comes alive. That's where it's living. It's not on the pages, it's not on the buildings, it's not on the internet, it's in your heart that it's alive and has an effect in you, around you, through you. God bless you with these thoughts, and hope to see you soon.